Hello, everyone. So excited to be sharing with you the final cover of my third book, Your Classroom or Their Playground. And I'm going to share the new subtitle with you in just a second. But I want to thank all of you for your votes. This has been a very, very exciting time for me. It's the first time that I've written anything published in the education realm. It's the first of many. God is stirring up all kinds of stuff for me. But anyway, I am excited. Thank you for your votes. So we're not going to, as the church folks say, belabor the time. Let's go ahead and go with it, okay? So I'm going to show you, just to refresh your memory, I'm going to show you cover number 1. Here it is. Now, I don't know if that's showing here or there or up top or wherever because it's my first time inserting pictures into a video. Your girl is trying to get a little fancy. All right, so there it is. You saw number 1. Here is book cover number 2. Okay, book 2. And then cover number 3. Wherever it is. Okay. So in the beginning, book cover number 1 was pulling all the weight. It did not win. However, as the votes were coming through, I was like, ooh, it's probably going to be number 1. It's probably going to be number 1. And then number 2 came in and started pulling all the weight. So book cover number 1 had 30 votes. Book cover number 2 with the win had 58 votes. And then book cover number 3 had 15. So, I mean, it wasn't close at all. It was a landslide. And just so y'all know, I was banking for number 2 as well. That was my favorite. But the more I began to look at those covers, I said, something is still missing. I was talking to the publisher and the graphic designer, and I was like, playground. I'm trying to play with the letters in playground because I want it to look like, a lot's going on. It's not as uniform as a classroom. And so many people are going to dig into that. The educators, I can't wait. They're probably going to say things like, so is a classroom supposed to be just militant and nothing's happening? I can't wait to have those discussions. I know it's coming. That's not it at all. But I wanted playground to really jump and look like a playground and do some stuff. And so I couldn't sleep. And for those who know me, when I cannot sleep, because your girl don't lose sleep, okay? If I can't sleep, something has to happen. I know that I'm uncomfortable. I haven't made a decision, something along those lines. I said, we have got to do something with this cover because that's not it. But the design, the letters that we saw into, I kind of wanted to stick with. So you guys did help me with that. You helped me to see that the lettering for number 2 was the better lettering. I said, all right, we got something. So I prayed. And my publishers are Christian publishers. They pray too. So I knew that, once I prayed and I asked God to really help them to design what I'm seeing in my mind that I can't even really see, I knew it would happen. So in a couple days after that prayer, they sent me the final cover that you are going to see in just a minute. But I got to tell you one last thing. The subtitle had to change too. You all voted on Your Classroom or Their Playground, the classroom management guide for new teachers or something like that. I don't even remember the old subtitle. But as I was in editing with my awesome editor, who is my former professor from Louisiana Tech University, shout out to Mrs. Hollis. We are 2 for 2 now. She edited my last book as well. You just can't throw those relationships away. I just love her. I'm so grateful for her. But anyway, in editing and just looking at how we were, paying close attention to how everything is set up in the book and me just knowing that book intimately, I was like, it's not really a guide. There are things in there that are guiding the readers, but it's more of observation where I am taking the reader into my classroom. I am allowing them to see things that went well, things that didn't go so well. I'm taking them inside of other teachers' classrooms so you can see how they've done things, what they've done, all that stuff. And there are some things, like I said, in there that guide teachers like step by step, do this, do that. There are a couple things in there, but this is more of observations and conversations for these teachers. And they can take out of there all of the points that I'm making are definitely guide things, but a guide by definition is something that's step by step. This is not a step-by-step book, but it is one that lets you see what can and cannot work, and then you can determine what steps to take from there. Y'all know I'm a storyteller. So the best way I know how to get it to anybody is to paint the picture, and I want them to see. And then from that story, I say, now here is what we need to pay attention to. Let's pay attention to why you shouldn't be yelling. Let's pay attention to why you don't want anybody else putting out your fires in your classroom. Let's pay attention to my favorite one, why you don't need to stop learning. I don't care how many years you've been in the classroom, you can't stop learning. So I tell the stories. I tell a story of how I messed myself up and almost messed my students up because I did not further my education. So I talk about all of those things and why it's necessary. So one day, the Lord always talks to me when I'm in the bathroom, when I'm doing my hair, when I'm cleaning the bathroom. It's always in the bathroom. So anyway, he said, observations and conversations, classroom management observations and conversations for the new teacher. So that is the subtitle. That is the one that felt right for me. When my publisher saw it, they was like, wow, this is good. It was a little lengthy, but the way that it even looks on the cover is just like, yes. So here is the final cover for your classroom or their playground. Thank y'all for your votes.